policy from an insurance company, you are in a contract. An insurance policy is a contract. You are the first party. Now, you remember the old movies. I don't know if you ever watched the old movies. Party of the first part. Did you ever watch the old movies?
Definitely not.
Definitely not. Well, let's talk about party of the first part. You are the party of the first part. You're in a contract with your insurance company. If you are the victim of someone else's negligence, and just like in the case with Eric Higgins and his stepfather here, you are dealing with the other person's insurance company. You didn't buy that policy. You didn't even know what insurance company they had until you found out about it after the accident. In fact, you didn't even know that person until you had the accident. You didn't buy a policy from that insurance company. They are the third party. Party of the first part, right? Party of the second part, party of the third part. So, understand that you have rights against your own insurer. When you buy a policy, your insurance company, under most states' laws, and this is definitely a matter of state law, very little federal law, it's part of civic class, federalism, states still have a lot of power. When you buy an insurance policy, your insurance company owes you an obligation of good faith and fair dealing. Your insurance company has to treat you at least the same way they would treat their own economic interest. They've got to put you on the same level. When you say that your insurance company is operating in bad faith, what that means, when lawyers, I'm giving you lawyer talk here, when a lawyer says an insurance company is operating in bad faith, that means the insurance company is putting their own interests ahead of yours. Now, when you're dealing with your own insurance company, where you bought the policy and you paid the premium, and you're dealing with the insurance company that you chose, your insurance company owes you an obligation of good faith and fair dealing, which means they can't operate in bad faith. They can't put their interests ahead of yours. When you're dealing with the other side's insurance company, none of that stuff applies. None of it. They can treat you in bad faith. They can treat you like dirt. You don't have a contract with them. They can just treat you very shabbily. And they often do. Now, Eric's first question was, Norm, when and how did this become a practice of insurance companies? I mean, Eric, dude, this has always been a practice of insurance companies. I mean, they always do this. They always treat everybody who is adverse to them very shabbily. What this insurance company did with your stepfather is standard stuff. They don't care that the police cited their insured with the citation saying that their insured who bought their policy, that their insured, drove negligently. They don't care. They're trying to save money for themselves. And understand that the idea of an insurance policy is to protect yourself. When you buy liability insurance, I'm talking to you, not Eric, I'm talking to you. When you buy liability insurance, which virtually all states now require, that is to protect you. The money that the insurance company, your insurance company pays, if you're at fault in an accident, if you run a red light, if you're negligent, if you're speeding, you hit someone, you trash their car, you'll never collect a dime under your own liability coverage that you purchased. It's not designed to do that. Your liability coverage that the law requires you to buy under your state law is intended to pay somebody else that you negligently damaged. Now, in the case with Eric and his stepfather, the situation is reversed, because his stepfather was not at fault. And so the other guy's insurance policy is there to pay Eric's stepfather. Eric's stepfather cannot sue the other guy's insurance company. He's not in a contract with the other guy's insurance company. He didn't know who they were until after the accident. And in every state that I'm aware of, there is no right for a person to sue the adverse driver's insurance company directly. You can't do it. There's no such thing as a third-party lawsuit. It used to be in California you could do that. That's been gotten rid of by the powers that be. I'm not going to digress. The only way that you can get to the other guy's insurance company is to sue the insured, the guy that actually damaged your car. Or if it's a woman, the woman that damaged your car. But, the state bar rules of lawyers. The lawyers have ethical rules. I know you're going to laugh. Yes, there are ethical rules for lawyers. They're not very often enforced or followed. But one of the ones that actually does matter is a lawyer is not allowed to contact the other person outside of their lawyer's presence without their permission. meaning if you've got a lawyer and I've got a lawyer, my lawyer can't contact you and running your lawyer. That's not allowed, and it gets lawyers into a lot of trouble. So understand that that applies to the lawyers. Lawyers are not allowed to end run the other side's lawyer and contact the person, the client, directly. But none of that applies to the actual people, the non-lawyers, right? So you, or in this case, Eric's stepfather can at any time contact the other driver and say, guess what? Your insurance company is not protecting you. You bought an insurance policy from your insurance company to protect you. That's why you have it. To get you out of a lawsuit, to keep you from getting sued, to pay me to go away. But guess what? They're not doing it because they're putting their interests ahead of you. They're exposing you to a lawsuit that I'm going to have to file against you. And by the way, there's nothing unethical about this, people. Lawyers, there's nothing wrong with Eric's stepfather writing a letter to or calling up the other person in the accident saying, guess what, your insurance company's treating me very badly, and I'm going to have to sue you because they're trying to, gyp me. They're trying to rip me off, rook me. And so that person, the other person, presumably will call their own insurance company and read them the riot act and say, I'm going to sue you because you're acting in bad faith against me. You're exposing me to a lawsuit when you ought to just pay the money. You're a big, rich insurance company. Why do you think I paid you my liability coverage? Was to protect me if I screwed up and damaged this other guy's car. Pay the money. Get me out of a lawsuit. That's your job. Or I'll sue you because I'm the first party as to you. I bought the insurance policy, and you're operating in bad faith as to me. You're exposing me to a lawsuit when you ought to be paying the money because you're being chintzy and you're trying to cheat me. You're trying to cheat them and cheat me. Now, if you have comprehensive and collision insurance, comprehensive and collision just covers the vehicle no matter who's at fault, right? If you're drunk and you drive into a tree, your comp and collision covers it. If there's a storm and a tree falls on your car while it's parked, hey, comp and collision. If somebody, some kids get drunk and they're having some fun, they go and set cars on fire. Guess what? Comp and collision. If you've got comp and collision insurance, you can then run the whole mess. Just give it to your own insurance company. Your own insurance company will pay you. They'll haggle with you more gently because they're your insurance company and they're afraid of getting sued by you for first-party bad faith. So they will pay off, and then they'll go. It's called subrogation. They then step into your shoes. They then get your claim because they bought your claim. By paying off your car, they bought your claim, and they then go to the other guy's insurance company and they say, you owe us. And they'll go get your deductible and they'll send it to you later. All right, now, I know that was long and it was probably confusing. You have a headache. You can podcast it for $5 at normangoldman.com, and you can listen to your heart's content. And listen over and over again. If you got any questions, send me an email to normangoldman.com. I sure hope I taught you something there. We've got nothing but your calls the rest of the way right here where justice is served. The Norman Goldman Show.